and I laughed a lot when I read the headline. Dubai grinds to standstill as cloud seeding worsens flooding. I would just like to stress the headline is effectively government weather manipulation backfires, causing worsening flooding.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it caused it. Okay, maybe it did. But look at this. Torrential rains across the UAE prompted flight cancellations, forced schools to shut, and brought traffic to a standstill. The heavy rains that caused widespread flooding across the desert nation came after cloud seeding. The UAE has been carrying out seeding operations since 2002 to address water security issues, even though the lack of drainage in many areas can trigger flooding. So I don't know if you guys saw these videos that were going viral.
Yeah.
Insane flooding.
Yeah.
Apparently, just a few days before, they do this thing where they spray potassium chloride into updrafts, which launches salts into cloud formations, which is then it attracts water particles. It's salt wants to absorb the water. It pulls the water in, creating a dense pocket of water that falls down as rain. I don't know if they accidentally let loose too much, but it sparked. Look at this. They say natural salts, which is potassium chloride. And it resulted in this mass flooding all over Dubai.
Oh, this is kind of like a good thing that not the flood, but the warning itself is a good thing. Like that we know that this can happen. That's a big deal.
No, this is a terrible thing, and the reason this is a terrible thing is because there are people talking about using methods to affect the amount of sunlight the planet gets in order to prevent the Earth from warming anymore. Now, first of all, the idea that the Earth warming is bad is controversial in and of itself. When human beings meddle with stuff like this, they do not have the ability to predict the outcome, which is why you have floods in Dubai, right? So this is similar to the what happened with Lysenkoism in the Soviet Union. Tofan Lysenko was a scientist, and he rejected Darwinism. And this was Soviet science. Soviets rejected Darwinism, and their belief was that plants that are like each other work communally. This was an argument made because they were against Western science totally, and they said you should plant plants that are like, that are of the same variety. You can plant them very close together because they will work as a one unit, and they will be more prosperous. That is absolutely wrong, and it caused a famine that killed millions and millions of people. This is what happens when man thinks that he needs to affect nature on that grand a scale. A similar thing happened in China when you talk about when you hear about the sparrows. There was an argument that Mao was making that sparrows were foreign. They were not Chinese. They were not native to China. So because they were not Chinese, they were not communist. So the communists should get rid of the non-communist sparrows. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the argument that he made. And so that's what they did. Every time the sparrows landed, people would go and chase off the sparrows. They would kill them. They would, just whatever, just to get them into the air and get them to go away. What ended up happening was the fact that there were no sparrows or not enough sparrows meant that the bugs ended up creating another, like a massive swarm of bugs that ate the crops, and there was another famine. These types of grandiose plans to affect like the amount of sunlight that falls on Earth are doomed, and they doom millions and millions of human beings, billions possibly.
They're risky. Some of them are effective. Sometimes